Women with no self-respect want men who will respect them. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
What's the most challenging thing about dating as a 22-year-old woman?
Finding someone to date. Like, no one's really looking for relationships, I feel like, or at least the guys that I've met.
So how would you describe the guys that you've met?
Well, I'll give you an example. So there was this one guy I met, and he was going to take me out on a date, and I said, okay, great. And he texted me, and he goes, okay, meet at my apartment at 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, no, that's not a date. You see, that's not what I want.
You don't think that maybe in the man's mind, he's like, okay, let's do that first, and then we could do something else after?
No, but that doesn't make me a respectable woman. So, like, you have to take me out and spend money and invest on me, and then you can get the benefits.
So you're not a respectable woman if you pull up to a guy's house at 10 p.m. the first night and then sleep with him?
Yes. I've done that maybe like once or twice when in college and stuff like that, and like they never text you the next day, they never do anything, like, they don't see you as a respectable woman. But like in the contrary, when you go on dates and stuff before and like actually make them get to know you, then they're more invested and they want to spend more time with you.
I mean, guys, this is something else. Think about this very carefully. So now what, other guys got for free and they didn't have to invest in, they didn't have to spend any money on, other men now have to spend money on it. And she said dates. So that meant multiple dates. And how much does she expect you to spend on a date? Probably $300, $500, $600 minimum. So after you've invested maybe $1,000 into her or more, then there's the possibility that you may be able to have experience intimacy. And then, of course, she said that, she did it a few times in college, like 2 or 3 times, right? Come on, guys. Basically, what we're witnessing in society today, and this is the aftermath of feminism, where women who don't have self-respect are now seeking out respectable men. They are seeking out men who will respect them. And of course, let me make it very clear to you, the kind of guys that women love, as I've said this before, are the guys that don't invest in them. So what she's basically looking for right now is a plan B guy. She's looking for a guy that she doesn't actually love, but that she's going to use to build her life up. So she's looking for a guy that obviously makes at least, above 6 figures, or even a millionaire, because he needs to invest in her. So why does she have to invest in her? So she can figure out how much money he has and if he can afford her. And then if he can afford her, then once she's in a committed relationship with him, then he may have access to some intimacy. After he's proven that he will spend money on her, that he has a sufficient amount of money for her, he's willing to spend said money on her, and then he maybe might get something. What kind of reality do we live in? It's no wonder men are walking away from Western society. It's women who don't respect themselves want men who respect them. How puzzling is that? You look at the way a lot of young women carry themselves today. And you have a lot of women that are now literally outright lying about their body counts, saying that they have a 0 body count while they're covered in tattoos, and the garments that they're wearing are quite revealing, and they're saying all of this just looking at you like you're not a very intelligent person, because you have to believe them, and they're just trying to game you, and they think that they're going to shift reality into whatever they want it to be. You see, a respectable woman goes with a respectable man. A respectable man deserves a respectable woman. What these women are asking for is a traditional man. But a traditional man wants a traditional woman. None of these women are traditional women. Even women that, talk about feminism and talk about, how things have changed and how feminism has potentially affected women in a negative way, also say that, what, we're also not traditional women. And yet these women are presenting themselves as, they're saying they want traditional men. They want men to do these things, but they don't want to be traditional women. They view cooking and cleaning as a form of servitude. They don't want to do these things. They expect a man to have enough money so that they can basically order DoorDash or Uber Eats or Grubhub whenever they're hungry, have a maid come in to do the cleaning, allow them to go and get their nails done, their hair done, their makeup done whenever they feel like it, go shopping whenever they feel like it, live carefree, soft girl lives, and in return, he gets their presents. Because they are the table. It's not about what they bring to the table. They are the table. The most they'll say is, he gets my beauty. But the beauty, if you want to call it an asset, is a depreciating asset. This is something we learned in business school. When we were learning about depreciation, the professor talked about a woman who basically posted online on, like, I don't know if it was Craigslist or one of these places or forum, that she was, and actually evidently they did find the guy that posted it, but she said that she was seeking a man who was a millionaire, and in return, he would get her beauty, because she's a very beautiful woman. And a man who was like a CEO at some company and very wealthy responded to her and said that, listen, miss, if you want to say that your looks are an asset, then remember that looks fade over time, so that's a fading asset. While when it comes to I can invest that, and my assets will increase in value over time. He said that it would be easier to go and earn that kind of money, to go and become a millionaire, than to find the man that's going to part with his hard-earned money and invest that money into something that's going to depreciate over time. And it was quite, that's something that I learned in business school, maybe 15 years ago. Long time ago, in a galaxy far away. I remember. I mean, it's crazy. The expectations of of modern women are through the roof. They want everything. They want it all handed to them. They don't want to offer anything in return. They want traditional men, but they're not traditional women. And if you disagree with them and don't give them what they want you to know that that you will be named, you will be shamed, you will be blamed, and hey, you might just lose it all. And then you wonder why guys are walking away entirely. Because modern women don't even know what they want anymore. The only thing that you can say for certain that they want are the streets, because after they spend time on the streets, they can never leave the streets. The streets will always be calling out to them. This is something that we've seen countless times. Tia Mowry left her husband because she couldn't leave the streets. She had a great marriage. She had children. She said she got bored in her marriage. She said her husband was a great guy, but she was bored. The streets were calling. She went back to the streets, and she started weeping because she couldn't find happiness in the streets. There are guys that are going to say, oh, wow, you're Tia, like Tia and Tamara, I'll go with it. We can be intimate, but I'm not looking for a relationship. She's like 44 years old now, and she thought she was going to just go back to the streets and it was going to be the same as like when she was in her 20s. And it doesn't work like that. And now she's weeping, she's crying, she's on social media complaining, and no one feels sorry for her. No one feels sorry for her because she chose the streets. She chose to be in the streets. She chose that life. She said she was about that life, and now she has to experience the consequences for her decisions. You know? And that's one thing that women struggle with. It's accountability. Women struggle with accepting accountability for the decisions that they make and the repercussions and consequences that come with them. This is just a modern day. It's just a modern day situation that we're all in right now. Women chose this for themselves, and men have to be smart and not get caught up. Don't be a fool. Don't get taken advantage of. Walk away. Be smart like the other guys. Walk away from Western society, Western relationships. Go overseas, find your peace, find your purpose. And if you want a relationship, find that overseas, but stay away from the West. Right now there are two major issues in the West: housing and food. Housing costs way too much, food costs way too much. All of our income is going on housing and food. We cannot save a dime because everything we make is going on housing and food, and it's crazy. It is absolutely ridiculous that we are spending this kind of money. And it bothers me. It gets to me. You don't have to live this way. You go overseas, go to the Philippines, your rent's what? $150 a month for a two-bedroom? For a two-bedroom house? You will live comfortably. If you want AC, you can get AC, but that's going to cost you maybe like an extra 50 or $100. A lot of people cut it out. A lot of people don't get AC, and that's a smart move. But if you have to have it, you can get it. You'll still save money. You'll eat well. You'll sleep well. Everything you need will be there. You'll find a lovely person that really wants to mate, that's agreeable, fit, friendly, feminine, and is agreeable and wants to make you happy. And you'll find that balance. It won't last forever. I will tell you right now, what we have in the Philippines will not last forever. It can't. And it's an unfortunate thing. But that's why men have to keep on walking away. And that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments if you agree that it's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre, but that's what it is, because that's how it ends up working out. Women with no self-respect want men who will respect them. Let me know your thoughts on this. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.